Warning, this episode contains strong language or mature themes. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to this podcast is Uncalled For. On today's edition, Adam McKeith. And now, your host for this podcast, Mike Chernevsky.
Welcome to another edition of This Podcast is Uncalled For. Today we're talking to, yet another actor. This actor, however, has spent time in Hollywood and is more than happy to talk to me about it today. If you had ever seen my web series Tales from the Interim Net, you know who my guest is for today. He plays Detective Vaughn Anderson in the series. He is a very good actor and a equally interesting sports fan to talk to, and it's a very interesting discussion. So please welcome Adam McKeith to the podcast. And you know what? Because Adam is the lead in Tales, we got to open it like it was Tales. So enjoy. Adam, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me, Mike.
So I guess we should start by talking about the thing that got us together, and that's film and acting. So
Yes, sir.
yeah. So
Sports.
And sports. Yeah. How did you get into acting?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Basically, my subconscious was bothering the crap out of me. Like, hey, this is the direction you need to be going into. And I've been taking acting classes just for fun. And I had a chance to get a acting scholarship. But like a dumbass, I turned it down because my parents wanted me to, not waste my time, get a real job, blah, blah. Then I'm like, can I curse?
Yeah.
I was like, man, what the fuck did I do? That was such a stupid decision. So now I've been paying out of my ass for acting lessons, and including in LA, where it's $350 a month for 4 classes. For a master class, but it's totally worth it. Anyway, so that's how I got into acting. And Kansas City, is actually a really great spot for acting, especially the IFC. A lot of local stuff going on. Most films don't get done, but hey, it's a fantastic experience because it's the same stuff, in LA that it is here. Because you show up to set there. I mean, just know your lines and be prepared and do it. They just have bigger, better cameras. Craft services. So that helps. Yep. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. And just kept taking acting classes and just got involved in Kansas City film. A lot of good people here.
Yep. Well, of course, one of the projects you have done with me.
Oh yeah.
Tales from the Interim Net.
Yeah, that was fun. We knocked out 23 episodes in 2 days.
It's a 24 episode series. We got parts of 20 done and 9 are completed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I had a good time memorizing those, and it really wasn't hard. It was actually fun.
I think the part you struggled with was your IR, actually.
I think everybody struggled with that, man. It's like Japanese Spanish mix.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ion shocks out of the right. That's one of the lines I know you messed up a little bit.
Oh, come on, man. I had every other book off all the other lines. I kicked ass.
Yeah. It is
Don't
tough.
sell me short.
Yeah, it is pretty tough to do another language, especially one that was invented. You know?
Yeah. How'd you get into acting in film and, you know?
And did I get into acting in film?
Yeah.
Well,
The name of this podcast is Stuff Uncalled For?
This podcast is Uncalled For.
Podcast, all right, we'll talk about
That's a
some
fair
Uncalled
question.
stuff.
I started off just being a hobbyist.
Yeah.
I took a couple of acting classes when I was a child at Theater for Young America.
Cool.
When I was still in downtown Overland Park.
Yeah.
That's was now the Rio Theater.
Yeah.
In Overland Park. So I did that. I toyed with possibly doing acting in high school, and I got to talk with some of my football friends about what they did to me when I made that decision. Ultimately, I decided not to do acting in high school. But in high school, to stave off boredom at cross country and track, I started writing screenplays.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did track also.
Mm-hmm. What events?
Shot and disc.
Okay, so you were one of those. I was a runner.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Started off as a distance runner, then switched to sprinting, and then wound up doing distance sprinting, so like 400 meter type stuff.
Sweet.
And wasn't very good.
Oh well. Mm-hmm. At least it's a good exercise.
Oh yeah. As far as actually getting behind the camera, I bought my first camera freshman year of college at Johnson County. And me and a couple of friends, we did a few funny sketches, and we sent them to one of my best friends from high school who was actually attending Dartmouth.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
It's cool.
And we shot, and this was a VHS camera, so you could imagine, That helped me, again, get on the track of becoming an independent filmmaker, independent videographer. And just writing my own scripts, producing my own scripts, shooting my own scripts, being forced to act in some of them from time to time.
Yeah, man, doing it all, jack of all trades. Huh?
Mm-hmm. And also introducing myself to the world of improv.
Right.
Yeah. That really helps a lot, especially.
Yeah, improv is really good. I learned improv in a very interesting and difficult way. I don't know if you want to hear this, but yeah, when I was like 18, 19, I was like so shy. I just could not talk to women. I mean, I was a good-looking kid. I just couldn't talk to girls. I just didn't have the confidence or the skill or the know-how. So my best friend, who's 4 years older than me, like forced me to do it. He'd be like, go say hi to her, come back. And I'd be like, what? No, I'm scared, blah, blah, blah. He's like, just fucking do it. So I would, then eventually got to, go tell her your name and come back, All right, and that turned into, go get her number and come back. Don't come back till you do. But what do I say? I figured it out on the way. He'd shove me. I'd be like, oh, fuck. I wouldn't know what to say, man. I'd go around saying stupid shit like at first, be like, so you're drinking Coke? I remember the first girl I did that to, but luckily I guess she liked me, so she was just cool about it. And so, but yeah, that's how I learned my improv, trying to pick up girls in fucking bars when I'm underage. My best friends trying to, teach me to talk to women and just have the balls to do it. And, that's how I learned my improv, and I'm fucking good at it. Improv, that is.
Yeah. Yeah, I of course, my style, I like to incorporate improv.
Yeah.
And I think it helps the actors get a better sense and make the characters their own.
Yeah.
Add their own little spin to how these characters operate.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's an acting technique too, especially out on the West Coast, I emphasize it a lot. It's kind of like, okay, what would you say in this situation? Or or use a visual substitution, like, all right, well, who's a person in your life now or previously, or even use your imagination that would fit this situation perfectly, like the guy you're talking to, etc. Visualize them right there. What would you say to them? Blah blah blah. All right, well, there you go. Get some energy out of you.
And as for the whole talking to women thing, that's something I still struggle with.
Oh man.
And,
I think we all do. Just ask questions and just fuck up. Nod your head. Don't think you're a big sweetie.
Yeah, I guess so.
What a great guy. You're such a good listener.
But the funny thing is, you and Ellen had Ellen Calvert's, who is
Ellen.
the
Really
female
cool.
lead of Tales. You guys had really good on-screen chemistry.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, we hit her off right away because we both went to K-State, so that helps.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a pretty cool girl. I got the gift of gab, so it worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fun series, man. It was fun working with everybody. We had a blast on set.
Yeah. So far, of the stuff we did, my notion, did you have a favorite scene or favorite moments?
Maybe at JUCO, where he's talking about, we were shooting the scene with JUCO and Juan's budding girlfriend had died, so he's talking to Ellen's character about how it was, really good to see her again now that she's been resurrected.
Over the foe.
Yeah, over the foe, which you stuck her finger in, like, what the fuck?
No, it wasn't. That wasn't the foe.
It was the sauce.
It was Wesson sauce, yeah.
I was like, did you really stick your finger in that? I was like, don't
it was nasty. Yeah, that was.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
First time I had pho, man. Not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, pho. So Adam did say that his favorite moments in Tales from the Interim Net so far was episode Zeta. Yes, I did use the Greek alphabets to designate my episodes. So in English terms, it's episode 6. The title is The Return of Aikori. I'm going to share with you now a taste of that particular episode of Tales from the Interim Net. This is one of the 9 that was finished and has been published. In this particular clip, you will hear Adam as Detective Vaughn Anderson. You may also hear in this scene Ellen Calvert, who plays Detective Jennifer Ashcroft. You'll hear Ivy Boy playing the titular character Aikori Takahashi, and George Dean playing the good doctor.
Thank you for coming out today, Detective. Well, my captain insisted that we come. Well, your reputation precedes you. My wife's told me all about you.
Any news on Dr. Kobayashi?
He's on with Bob now. Stone bastards turned him shortly after they took over his lab.
That's tragic.
Well, let's get to business. The reason why you're here.
John, are you here to do a story about me for your magazine?
She thinks you're reporters.
Yeah, when we first met, I told her we were tech reporters.
Why would you do that?
We were undercover and off the record.
I see.
Corey, now that you're alive again, there's something I really have to come clean up. My real name is Detective Vaughn Anderson. This is my partner, Detective Jennifer Ashcroft.
Walk it a mouse.
Corey, I'm really, really sorry about what happened to you. I had no idea. It wasn't my intention.
As long as you take out the people at Stone Corporation who did this to me, I'll forgive you.
Are you willing to testify?
I'm too afraid to testify right now, but if the time is right, I will.
Okay. I don't know what you've done to her, Doctor, but it's pretty impressive.
Isn't it? With your permission, Corey, I'd like to explain to them what exactly I did.
Hi.
The injuries she sustained broken neck and a snapped spinal cord. So what I did is I replaced all the spinal cord injuries with high quality, high fiber optic cabling all through here. And then for all the bones and joints that had too much decay, I just used robotic prosthetics.
Is she one with Bob?
God, no. Only stone types can be one with Bob. She's a Andersonian.
I still retain all of my memory prior to the death at the hands of Mr. Cabrisco.
Hey, we're getting somewhere.
Hey, Corey, how much do you remember about Stone Corporation and their everyday operations?
Everything. I was as high up as a natural could get within the Stone Corporation.
Good stuff, man. Ironically, the actress you were pining over, Ivy, she's Vietnamese, and she's playing a Japanese character.
Yeah, funny.
Yeah. So, that's pretty interesting. I actually talked about that day a couple of episodes ago with Pat, about the other part of that day with the security coming to shut us down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was probably the most exciting thing or dangerous thing that those guys at Johnson County Community College Security had to do that year.
Yeah.
You guys were filming without a permit.
Well, we got what we needed, so,
Yeah,
That's
it
fine.
worked out.
Let's shift gears, because
All right.
we're both sports fans, right?
We are.
So I gotta ask, how is LA as a sports town, and even more specifically as a football town?
It's amazing. It's a lot of people there, kind of don't give a shit. They're like the Super Bowl, like the Rams made it, even though the Saints got screwed big time. They should have, been in the Super Bowl. And hats off to New Orleans. They had a fuck the Super Bowl parade where I think 2 million people showed up and partied. This Super Bowl sucked it. Anyway, they said that the Super Bowl had the lowest rating in 11 years. And they said that one of the lowest markets, was actually the city of LA. People that are so indifferent. Now they got the Chargers and the Rams. Mm-hmm. And I know you're really passionate about they should have stayed in St. Louis.
Absolutely.
People in Midwest actually, bleed, behind their teams, kind of like we do with the Chiefs, where they always give you hope, and then they let you down. Man, since I was a kid, it's hard being a Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
But I still love them.
I think the best way to describe it is they saw an opportunity and said, to hell with NFL bylaws on relocation.
Yeah.
Because that's actually in the relocation policy, is that you can't move a team just to make more money.
Which is exactly what they did.
Which is exactly what Senior Stan did. And I was devastated when I heard about they approved the move, because I was hopeful earlier that day, because the LA committee, 6 owners, said 5-1 we should move the Chargers and the Raiders, and you live in California now. You're familiar with how politics work, especially in terms of stadiums, right?
Right.
Yeah. That's exactly why the LA committee was absolutely right. Regardless of what's going on, I think the Chargers and the Raiders were going to move. Period.
Yeah.
Especially when St. Louis actually came up with a very interesting plan to build a new stadium right on the Mississippi, not too far from where the Dome sits today.
That would have been cool. I've been to the Dome. I actually went there for a Monday night game where the Rams lost on the last play of the game, and I'll spare you the details. But it was when the World Series was going on with the Cardinals.
Just on the street, yeah.
Yeah, so the stadium was probably 60% empty. So we snuck down the goal line stand and saw the whole thing.
Well, crappy football team on one side of the end of the street. Championship baseball happened just down the street, yeah. That's pretty disgusting that they would say, attendance was lagging the past few. Dude, you fielded a losing team for over a decade.
Yeah.
All right, including the worst 5 years in NFL history. All right.
How dare people not purchase our shitty product?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Speaking of which, the Royals are back to the normal Royals.
Yeah.
They give us 2 good years, though, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate them for the 2 good years. Now we're back to the usual Royals.
Yeah. But yeah, back to St. Louis for a second. Yeah, I'm having more fun following their lawsuits than I am actual football anymore. Yeah, Oakland's suing over the Raiders moving to Vegas now.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, and San Diego, they're not suing.
San Diego's like, good riddance.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, San Diego, again, the whole attitude towards funding stadiums with taxpayer money, it was a no-go. And they actually put that on the ballot in San Diego, so.
Yeah, San Diego's a pretty chilled out town, man. I actually like it much better than LA. San Diego's a pretty cool place, but let's talk about the Chiefs. So we got the MVP. I don't know what Tyreek Hill's doing. I actually met him down at Sprint Center. He seemed like an okay dude, but you know, I don't want to get into it, but if somebody really is abusing a child, I'm like, fuck Tyreek Hill. I hope the kid is okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, they moved heaven and earth to, you know, bring in Spagnuolo and get Frank Clark and everything. Basically trade Marcus Peters, which is turning out to be a 3rd round pick. But my thing is, our blaring weakness was our cornerback. So what do they do to fix the cornerback situation? Nothing. They replace, you know, Steven Nelson with Brashad Breeland, so they're about the same skill level. They draft a cornerback in the 6th round. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. Take care of your weakness. I don't know.
But yeah, as you know, I've never really been a Chiefs fan. And this is one of the reasons they keep they bring in guys of questionable character and everything. And that LA committee I mentioned,
Yep.
They voted 5-1 to let the Raiders and Chargers move.
Yeah.
Guess who the one no vote was?
Chiefs.
Yep. Parkon was the only no vote, yeah. So how can I support a team that's owned by a guy who pretty much told half of the state of Missouri, fuck you don't deserve your own team.
Yeah.
And so many more. And of course, Jerry Jones.
Oh, God.
He did. They're basically kissing Stan's ass the whole time. And
Jerry Jones is like, you know,
I gotta find Jerry.
it's a
Jones
reputation of being, you know, shady.
I gotta find Jerry Jones' story. So this is 1999 in Canton.
Yeah.
I was there with my dad for the Hall of Fame game,
Oh, really? Cool.
which was Cowboys and the New Browns. By the way, our Modell still is hated in Northeast Ohio the same way Stan is in St. Louis.
Yeah, because it turned into the Ravens that won a Super Bowl a handful of years later.
Yeah, pretty much. So this is the new Browns. We're talking about the current Browns.
Ray Lewis killed someone in Atlanta.
Yeah, that was later that same year. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess those Cleveland folks should be lucky, you know, he didn't stay in Cleveland and murder somebody down
I
there.
don't think I was ever in Cleveland. I think it was a 100% Baltimore.
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah.
anyway, Canton is pretty much Browns country. It's just like 60 miles south of Cleveland. All right. And
gotcha.
And our tickets were actually in the dog pound. So yeah, we got to hang out with the Cleveland Brown faithful. That's cool, especially since my dad's from Pittsburgh and is a diehard Steeler fan.
Yeah.
And,
You know, I could have been a huge Steelers fan because I met Ben Roethlisberger. I think he was probably one of the first NFL players I ever met. Like right after his rookie season,
Yeah.
and it was in Vegas. You know, I'm like sitting there on the slot machines, kind of buzzed, and this huge dude's walking towards me, and I'm like, yeah, he looks so familiar. I'm like, oh, it's Roethlisberger, their first round pick. So I went there, you know, go talk to him. I was super nice, and this dude was such a dick that I was like, man, fuck him. If he was like nice to me, I probably would have bought his jersey and been like Steelers for life. But since he wasn't, I'm like, F the Steelers.
I had the pleasure of meeting a couple of NFL players in my years, particularly at sports collectibles shows. I met Eric Dickerson and
Cool.
And Kurt Warner.
Oh, I bet
And-
Kurt Warner was cool.
Yeah, Kurt Warner's very cool. Yeah. Let's see, who else did I meet at these shows? Kevin Carter, very nice. James Worthy. Kareem was kind of a dick.
Hunt?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, I saw this old throwback of Kareem. Some guy fouled him, elbowed him in the gut, make it look like it was an accident. Kareem grabbed his, held his rib in pain, and he just popped that guy in the head.
Wow.
He just did a right hook, turned his foot into it and everything.
Oh, wow.
Kareem was a martial arts student of Bruce Lee.
Did not know that.
Yeah, dude. So,
And Bruce Lee came up with his own fighting style.
Yeah.
Jeet Kune Do.
Yeah, Bruce Lee was a genius, man. Like, if you read his paperwork, he was like, people are still trying to figure out what he was talking about. He's light years ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Canton and Jerry Jones. So we're waiting outside the stadium, waiting for the gates to open. And the gates do open, the golf carts roll out. And Jerry Jones is in the golf cart. And this prompts one dog pounder to start yelling, "Yo, Jerry's going back to test in a golf cart because the plane broke down." Yeah, that was pretty funny. And,
F the Cowboys.
Yeah, F 'em. My mom's dead, so it's okay.
Oh, your mom used to be a Cowboys fan?
She was a huge Cowboy fan.
Thank you.
But geography, if geography dictates I should be a Chiefs fan because I was born and raised in Kansas City, my mother should have been either a Saints fan
Yeah.
or a Houston fan.
Oilers?
Yeah, it would have been Oilers. She called them the Spoilers after they moved to Tennessee. And I don't know if she really got on board with the Texans. I don't know, but she was really big into the Cowboys. And was a really big fan of Tom Landry.
Yeah,
I think
Tom
that's one of
Landry was a
the-
good coach.
Yeah. I think it's one of the reasons my parents ultimately got divorced was she was a Cowboy fan, he was a Steeler fan.
Really?
Yeah.
Fighting over, what was it, the 96 Super Bowl? Cowboys versus Steelers?
Oh, there were
With Neil?
3 total.
Yeah, was it?
Neil O'Donnell.
Yeah. He sucked.
She forbade the name Terry Bradshaw in the house.
Wow.
Yeah. Canton, great small town. If you ever get a chance to go.
Yeah, dude, I'd like to visit that. The College Football Hall of Fame is actually in Atlanta.
Yeah, there are a couple of home fans I'd like to get to one of these days. Cooperstown, I've never been to. Probably the Basketball Hall of Fame in Massachusetts. The Hockey Hall of Fame, that's up in Toronto. And we're recording this the day after the St. Louis Blues clinched a berth in the Stanley Cup final.
Oh, really? The Blues are in the Stanley Cup?
Yeah.
No kidding. I didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
It's going to be Blues in Boston. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Show you how much I know about ice hockey.
Yeah. Well, of course, lately I've been getting into semi-pro soccer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Kansas City have a team?
Kansas City has a few teams, actually. So the one I support is called Santa Fe Wanderers.
Oh, yeah.
And starts supporting them last summer. And in fact, saw them play 4 games on Sunday, which explains my sunburn.
Damn. Yeah, I was going to say, man, you're looking pretty tan.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a whole tournament out at Swope Park on the Sunday, and they won all 4 of their games.
Wow.
And,
That's a good team.
yeah.
So you got any projects planned coming up, Mike?
Other than this podcast and what we've been talking about. No, my focus right now is just get the car worked off with the chess club and
Yeah.
everything. And yeah, that's keeping me pretty busy as it is. So in addition to actually teaching the classes, I'm selling stuff on eBay for them, doing errands for them at the office and being trained to be a tournament director.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I guess I could tell you this story. St. Louis, it's not good enough for the NFL, but good enough to be the chess capital of the world, if not the U.S. So,
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Dang.
yeah. So in August, this past August, my boss and a few of us went to St. Louis for one day of the Sinkfeld Cup, which is a huge tournament. You had some of the best chess players in the world participating in this thing. And very nice setup. But then again, that's what you can do with billions of dollars. Not just have the chess club there, but have TV and streaming going on, and have a little diner off to the side, and right across the street have a museum, a chess hall of fame, and a gift shop. And bringing the likes of Carlsen and Anand and Nakamura, Caruano, just to name a few.
A lot of smart people, man.
Yeah.
You know who's actually like a huge chess player? Nobody really knows it. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh,
Yeah, I met that guy. I love that dude. He can really do anything he puts his mind to.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying that, if people want to underestimate me because of my accent or my big muscles, I'm like, go ahead.
I did do a decent job running California. So,
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even take the pay for it. He, gave it back to the people.
Mm-hmm.
So he basically worked 8 years for free.
yeah. That's right. He did do two terms. Yeah.
Yeah, did you see he got drop kicked?
I did. I did see that video. Yeah. That's some interesting stuff, but that's got to hurt.
Yeah, he said, did you see his reaction? He looked like, huh? What happened? He thought that, the fans jostled him or something.
Uh-huh.
No, it was some moron drop kicking Arnold.
Yeah. I mean, come on, dude.
I mean, it's just like, think about it. You just assaulted a senior citizen. The guy's 71.
Wow. I knew it. I didn't know he was that old. But,
Yeah, I think Sly is 72.
Wow.
Dude, that's like my vision. When I'm 72, I want to look like Sly. He's like, yeah, I take, testosterone, but, get my testosterone levels back to, he said where it was when it was 25, and he takes, human growth hormones because, he's like,
Right.
because of my age, I have to. But I mean, the man, all that discipline working so hard. Truth is, he looks better than Arnold does right now.
Well. Yeah.
And he's another one of those people, man, that's super smart, but nobody really acknowledges it or knows it because, because the way he talks.
Yeah, because the way.
Because he had a botched birth, and the doctor clipped, with his forceps, the facial muscles on his left side, so that's why he has a droopy face. So.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so it's like.
But I do know he wrote Rocky.
Huh?
I know he wrote Rocky.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he said it was 3 days full of, coffee and desperation. He was just kind of, he was down and out, and he was hanging out with these other down and out people.
Yeah.
And he was always, visualizing his dream coming true. And he said it just, Rocky was a story he just had to get out,
That's how it is.
So, because he understood, he was saying, it was very autobiographical. He understood the character, etc. So, good for him.
Yeah.
And he's like, what about my prime? Good for you, Sly, you got it.
Can you talk about some of the projects you've been able to get out in LA, if any, or have you been able to get any projects out in LA?
Yeah, I mean, when I first got there, man, it's LA is a really interesting town. When I first got there, dude, I was just hitting it hard. I was just determined to, get to the top, blah, blah, blah. I was talking to so many people that were actually successful actors. I mean, and Arnold Schwarzenegger gave me some of the best advice too. And he was just like, look, you need to shoot straight for the top, because there's no point in, waddling around with everybody else, because there's a lot of room at the top, but at the bottom, that's where everybody's kind of, shooting for these little parts. So he's like, so think big, otherwise you're never going to be a true maverick. I was following his advice. I think like I was out there for 3 months and I got this movie, with a bunch of WWE superstars like Jake the Snake Roberts, Tommy Dreamer, Johnny Mundo, and other like WWE stars and stuff. And that has a small part on that show. Man, I'm having a brain fart right now. Ted Danson and that blonde chick, what I'm talking about?
Ted Danson. I'll have to look that up.
Anyway, I'm excited. I'm telling the family about it and all this stuff. So anyway, I got a chance to see it. It's called The Good Place. I'm like all excited to watch this shit on TV. My part was, it was a wedding scene, and I'm sitting next to the bride's mother, and and the bride says something retarded. I don't know if that's PC. So, I was like, can you believe she just said that? We laugh about it. So that turned into like, me and the mom looking at each other going, here's what you see on the screen. I'm like, wow. That was my 15 minutes of fame on ABC so far. But what's really interesting about LA is, so I was like, yeah, I really want to, get all the information right. But anyway, I mean, long story short, all these so-called experts out there, all these gurus, like I'd go to seminars, gave some asshole $700 and be like, oh, marketing yourself in LA, getting roles, blah, blah, blah. I coached such and such, a celebrity actor. And then, my friend Riley recommended this seminar with this lady who's basically a failed actor. And all these dipshits basically tell you, oh, first you got to do this, and then you got to do that. You got to chase down this manager. You got to chase down, this agent. Then you have to like build this. Then you have to get a show reel. Then you have to like get these flyers and that and that and that. So it's like that really sidelined me, because I bought into that bullshit. Because I was like, oh well, shit, I can't just take direct action and just go for exactly what I want, which ironically in hindsight was working. Because I was talking to producers, I was networking, meeting people, and that's how I got that movie with Jake the Snake and et cetera, et cetera. But I guess one takeaway, I guess that would help anybody is just take action. Don't get caught up listening to all these so-called gurus that haven't done shit. Like the Ultimate Warrior, says this is not very PC, but never listen to anyone who's never put up a good hard fuck on the scoreboard of life. Then I bought Al Pacino's, Inside the Actor Studio. He made a comment that never listen to somebody who's never done anything, and them telling you how to do it. And that happens a lot in LA. It seems like most actors are just struggling, and they just want to pay for acting lessons and not really hunt down the work for some reason. But all these gurus discourage them. Like I had this one teacher, like I started going to casting directors' offices. He's like, yeah, you don't need to be doing that because imagine if every actor came to LA did that. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, motherfucker, you could tell them to do that and they would not do it. Everybody knows that actors are fucking lazy, they're insecure, they just don't go for it. I mean, it's a business, you gotta hunt that shit down. Yeah. And ironically, the guy that told me that was this dude on this show called Homeland. Because he was telling his story. He was living out of a car, and he was an Iranian actor. He was living out of his car. He was printing off breakdowns, back in the day at his friends' houses, showering at the gym, etc. And he said he finally just decided to take control, and every morning he just show up at every casting director's office in town. And, good morning, here's my headshot and resume. And he got his breakthrough role by hanging out in his casting director's office. He said almost 5 hours. And finally, the guy came out. He's like, did you have an appointment? You've been waiting here for a while. And he's like, look, you don't know who I am, but you've been trying to cast this for 3 months, and all I asked for is 5 minutes. And he gave him the audition, and then the casting director was like, why haven't you been in here before? So if there's a takeaway that helps anyone, just put away anything that gets you to stop taking action. Stop listening to these so-called gurus or whoever, especially out there, because they'll happily take your money and they don't want you to, succeed or move ahead, because then you won't be stuck in their classes giving them fucking $300 a month or whatever it is. So that's one thing that probably wasted, like a year and a half of mine. So I could have been like, oh my God, I could have just been doing what I was initially doing, taking a shitload of action and getting roles.
Sure.
So.
I wonder how many of those actors are giving their money over to Scientology.
Oh, fuck, dude. I lived right in Hollywood. And Hollywood is a fucked up place. My first 6 months there, I got jumped 3 times. First time was like 10 days there. Some guy rear-ended me at a red light. Then he wouldn't give me his insurance paper. So I went to take a picture of his car, and he started throwing punches. I'm like, are you fucking serious? So anyway, he throws like 6 punches total. I stepped back and dodged the first 2. Then I sidestepped and dodged the second 2. And the third and fourth one, I blocked one, and he touched me on my cheek with the other one. It felt like, somebody like poked me. I didn't feel anything. Maybe it was adrenaline. And he's huffing and puffing, so I thought about, going over the top and lighting his ass up. But, I'm a very peaceful, I don't want a police record. Plus, I know that there's cameras all over in Hollywood, police cameras, rightfully so. So I said to him, I'm like, man, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, huffing and puffing. I'm going to take a picture of your car, too. I'm like, go ahead, dumbass. I don't know how it's going to help you. So he drives off. I call the police, and then I have to pick him out of a digital lineup. And he gets hit and run, battery, and assault charge.
Wow.
So there's that one. The second one, we had a 67-year-old house manager. One of my roommates was drugged out. He was like this dude, probably about my size. So he's talking about beating up our house manager. And I'm like, dude, you don't need to be assaulting senior citizens. So he's like, oh, I'm going to kick your ass. You talk to me like that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you know what? We're done. And he goes to attack me, and I just grabbed his wrist and held him there until the police came. The third one, I was working, a part-time job as a bouncer. Some dude was shoving this girl. And I was like, dude, you can't be doing that in here. You got to go. He's like, I'll fucking slaughter you. And he goes to, hit me, and I just punched him right in his head. He just, fell down. Went to sleep.
Wow.
Anyway, so that was my first 6 months there, and yeah, there's a reason why the locals, don't go hang out in Hollywood. It's the touristy spots are cool, but living there is actually really dangerous.
Yeah, I think it's true of every city, actually. So.
No, Hollywood is really, really worse. They say that people out in LA are crazy, and I know from experience, they're right. It's like a lot of jaded, straight up asshole people, cutthroat, mixed in with some of the nicest people you'll ever meet, so it's like a 50-50.
Yeah.
It's like, you can run into somebody like you or me, and pretty nice, easygoing, genuine guys, and, you can say something to somebody, and I've seen people fighting in traffic at red lights and shit. It's nuts, man.
Yeah, you definitely don't see that.
Yeah, but I agree with you. A lot of big cities, you see a lot of that, but it's particularly wacky out there.
Yeah, the visual is coming. Have you ever seen Star Trek 4?
No.
Yeah, they're in San Francisco, right? In modern day San Francisco. So we're talking mid '80s here. They almost get run over. Gabby's like, "Watch where you're going, dumbass!" And Captain Kirk, double dumbass on you.
Yeah, dude. I was watching William Shatner on some show with the Fonz. He was saying that he hates meeting people. He hates when fans want a picture. He hates giving out autographs and shit. Like, geez, Captain Kirk, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Mm-hmm. The Fonz and they're welcome. Oh, I love it. I love meeting my fans. So, anyway, I don't know, man. It's I don't want to paint a negative picture about LA. Those are things to watch out for. But the truth is, there's a lot of opportunity out there. A lot of success stories. A lot of actors and people that you don't even know who the hell they are make bank. It's a friend of mine from my acting class. She got on some WB show, and she wasn't even a main character, but she was getting $40,000 a week. So she was a rich girl from Texas anyway. So she goes from that. She's like, yeah, my dad's asking me, if I'll start paying for my Beamer now, and she's like, I'm not gonna do it, Dad. You can pay for it. And she's 18. I'm like, hats off to you, girl.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
But there's a lot of opportunities. I mean, it's a great city, but there's a lot of shit you gotta watch out for. And
Sure.
I guess for me a little bit, I kind of got blindsided because, I was just like, hey, I'm here to pursue my dream. Not like, oh, I'm getting fucking attacked. Oh, this guy's attempting to mug me. Ugh.
As always, my thanks to Adam McKeith for such an interesting interview. I learned a lot, and I hope you did as well. So, as always, I gotta do my spiel. If you want to help out the podcast, tell your friends about it, get them to subscribe. We're on iTunes now, so look them up. Our website's uncalledfor.home.blog. Facebook, Uncalled For Podcast. And of course, if you want to help out financially, just $5, and I'll give you thanks right here on this podcast. Patreon.com/Mike Chernevsky. MikeCzerNiewski, all one word. So, that'll do it for this edition. We'll talk to you next time.
This podcast is Uncalled For is hosted, produced, and edited by Mike Chernevsky. Opening music is Iron Bacon by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetent.com. Licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license. Outro music is Broken Reality by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetent.com. Licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license. Additional music includes Keep by the Kyoto Connection from their album No Headphones Required. Licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 unported license. Check them out at www.thekyotoconnection.com. And Ice Flow by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetent.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license. If you would like to support this podcast or any of Mike's other creative endeavors, please consider making a donation at patreon.com/Mike Chernevsky. That's MikeCzerniewski. Donations over $5 will receive a special thanks on a future podcast. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next time.